Okay guys, so it has officially been 1 month since I moved to Australia on a working holiday visa, so I'm gonna film this video to yap about it for a few minutes. I feel incredibly awkward talking to a camera. I've never made a video like this before, so if you guys can bear with me. So to start at the beginning, I heard about the working holiday program and decided to apply for it. I didn't realize how quickly they were going to approve my visa. Once I filled out the online form, they approved it instantly. Literally like within 5 minutes of me submitting it, I got an email that I had been approved. I had been expecting it to maybe take a few months. I wasn't sure if I was going to get it or not, so once it's approved, you have 1 year to enter the country. I was like, shit, I actually have to do this. I had no idea where to start. I found a company that helps you set up your life in Australia. They do like a 1-week tour. It's called Welcome to Travel. I think going through this tour company was a great way for me to get started because I'm the type of person, I like having my hand held. I like having people make decisions for me and just kind of tell me what to do and just go along with things. I'm not a big decision maker of my own. The first day of the tour, they helped me set up a bank account through Westpac Bank, which is the second biggest bank in Australia. I applied for a tax filing number, which you need to work, so I got that sorted out all on the first day getting this done, and I got a SIM card for my phone. So that was like 3 big things taken off my plate. They took us around to different places. I got to feed kangaroos at a zoo. We went to see penguins coming out of the water at night, little baby penguins, which are so cute. We went to a wine tasting. Overall, it was just a really amazing week. It was nice to be with the same group of people and make friends who are in the same boat, all around the same age, doing the working holiday visa. And it was really cool just being in a group with a bunch of people from different countries, because being from the United States, I feel like I grew up very much in a bubble where everyone's kind of the same, and then so to be in a group where there's really only one other person from the same country as me, and then a bunch of people from all different places, that was really cool. Great way to make friends. And by the end of the week, I also felt like I kind of had my life together. So at the end of the week, we did a meeting where they helped us figure out our plans going forward. And for me, I really have my heart set on going to Tasmania, but I wasn't sure if I would want to work in Tasmania or go back to the Melbourne area and do something there. So it was suggested to me during this meeting that I do a tour of Tasmania. They helped me sign up for a tour, the company called Under Down Under. I know it's Tasmania because Tasmania is called that. It's kind of funny because Tasmania is underneath Australia. It's an island separated off, so like when you go to Australia, you're going down under. You go to Tasmania, you're going under, down under. That was funny. This tour was amazing. It was like the best week of my life. Tasmania is such a naturally beautiful place. We went to all the highlights. I saw more penguins. Seeing penguins is my favorite Australian thing. We saw more penguins. We saw a lot of wallabies and something called a paddy melon, which is like a smaller wallaby. Wombats, which I didn't even know what a wombat was before moving to Australia, but they are the most cutest animal ever. I love wombats. We saw a platypus. Sorry, I'm just listing animals. We saw a lot of cool natural scenery too. We went to Wineglass Bay, which is such a highlight of Tasmania. Absolutely gorgeous white sand beach. We went to Cradle Mountain, another highlight. It's a subtropical rainforest climate. I've never seen anything like it in my life. We went to another park that had giant trees, not quite as big as the redwoods, but these are some of the biggest, oldest trees in the world, so that was also amazing. I just felt like every day we just woke up and my mind would be blown by the natural beauty and everything we were seeing. So after doing that tour, I was like, I need to stay in Tasmania. I feel like in Tasmania, anytime I'm not working, I can just go see something amazing every single weekend. Sometimes after work, I just take myself on a drive. Like, I just look up on Google Maps, honestly, what's around, just type in like tourist attractions and see what's drivable, and every single day of my life is an amazing day since I've been here. There's so much more things that I want to see and do as well. I feel like I will be entertained for so long and just be able to have all of these amazing experiences, which is a big part of why I'm here and doing the visa. So week 3, I've decided to stay in Tasmania. I've wrapped up with the tour and now I'm in Hobart in a hostel. I booked myself on for a few extra nights so I could get my life together. I only booked 4, so then the night before I had to check out of my hostel. I was like, shit, I'm about to be homeless. I haven't figured anything out. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I was luckily able to get into another hostel, but I would definitely recommend staying on top of making sure you have accommodations so you're not like me where you're kind of just all over the place, don't know what's going on, and almost wind up homeless. So I was able to get another 10 days so I could really get my life together. Through word of mouth, I realized a lot of the farm jobs, which I wanted to get a farm job for my visa and just for personal interest in working in a farm. I think it's a really cool thing to do. I have a job now I'm very happy with. I'll get into that in a bit. But I realized the first thing I would have to do if I wanted one of these jobs, a lot of them really want people with their own car. I was scared to buy a car because I've never bought a car without like help from my parents. I'm in a new country, I don't want to get scammed, but honestly I just bought a used car on Facebook Marketplace. I didn't do like any checks on the vehicle before I bought it. I just showed up and test drove it for a few minutes and was like, alright, I will buy it. There's probably a better way to go about that, but that's what I did, and it was a very cheap car. Once I got it, it was actually super easy to register it in my name. If you want to drive and you have a license, driver's license that's in English, you are okay to drive with that for the first 6 months in Australia. You don't need to get a license here, so I was all set on that. I was able to register it very easily. It's called the rego. It's kind of funny Australian word. So I was able to register the car. Also went on Facebook and found a job, but the job was I was in Hobart and the job was in Devonport. So I was like, okay, I'll find a place in Devonport so I can do this job. So I went to Devonport. I just went on another Facebook group for share houses. Share houses is houses that are rented out to groups of people and you get your own room, but you like share the living room, kitchen, etc. So I just went on Facebook and was able to book a room in a share house. I showed up, did a tour, and Australians are so chill because there was like no paperwork or anything. I literally showed up, said I wanted the room, didn't even pay anyone anything yet, and the guy gave me a key and he was like, yeah, it's yours. And I just sent money later that day. It took a few hours because of the wire transfer, and yeah, I already had a key to this place. Like, everything is so laid back. They just like assume you're good for the money if you say you are, which is just very different, I think, from how things are typically done where I'm from in America. Like, everyone's a lot more laid back. Even getting gas, another culture shock is you just pump the gas and then go inside and pay for it. In the United States, you have to, there's a card reader on the gas, you swipe your card first and then it lets you fill up the gas. Here, they just, assume you're gonna come in and pay for it. I'm sure if you don't, they have ways to deal with that, but it's just very different lifestyle here. Very easygoing culture. So now I have the house in Devonport and I have a car. So the job I got was actually through a farm recruitment agency. There's a few of them in Tasmania. I believe they have them in other parts of Australia too. Instead of working for a specific farm, they send you around to different farms. So far I have worked picking corn on a farm. Tomorrow I'm going to a cauliflower planting. I've never done that before, so we'll see how it goes. But the corn picking job I really liked. That's the one I've done so far for the past week. You just show up in the morning and pick corn for 4 hours, which is physically demanding, but it's not super hard. And because you're in the cornfield, it's kind of almost shaded, so if you wear a hat and sunblock, you don't really get too hot. Pick corn for 4 hours, break for lunch, and then pack and process the corn for another 4 hours, which is just like chopping off the end nub of the corn, making sure there's no worms, throwing out any bad pieces, putting everything in a box and sending it off to the market. So very easy, mind-numbing work. I feel like honestly I show up, my mind clicks off, I just get in a very meditative, repetitive state, and like suddenly the day is over. I've done corn for like 8 hours. Minimum wage for horticulture here is pretty livable as well when you compare it to my rent, gas, and other expenses. But being through the agency is nice because I'm going to get to try out different jobs, and it was super easy to get with really no experience in farming. I just put on my resume like my waitressing experience because that's what I have in life, and they were able to hook me up with a job. They were able to give me pretty much guaranteed 38 hours of work a week. So that's how I live here in Tasmania and work. I'm also really lucky to have a schedule where I have weekends off, so I'm able to do really cool activities every weekend. This weekend I went to Cataract Gorge in Launceston. Beautiful natural gorge. There's a pool and a lake. This thing is entirely free as well. So I was able to just show up, go for a swim, go for a walk, look at the scenery out in the sun. It was just such a nice day. And then that night I went to see the moonrise at this lighthouse and the moon in Australia. I don't know if you've ever seen the show H2O Just Add Water, where half of it is the girls just looking at the moon, but the moon is so beautiful here. It's actually bigger, I think, like a lot bigger somehow. So that was amazing, and I just feel like my life is really nice because I have like a nice house, I have my own room, I'm able to cook food for myself in the kitchen. Beautiful scenery. I could do some clips of the house on here as well. Beautiful scenery, and for what I pay in rent, put it on the screen, I don't want to say it out loud, that's what I pay in rent a week just for a very small room. Yeah, so for what I pay, it's very like nice lifestyle that I'm able to have, and I get to do a lot of really cool things every weekend and after work. So I feel like I'm just in a very good place in life. I'm so happy I came. It's just such a beautiful place, and I'm able to have a good lifestyle. And I'd say like figuring it all out was hard, but everything came together very nicely, and it wasn't as hard to figure out how to get a job and a car and a house as I thought it was going to be. Because like a week ago I was like, I had none of this, and I was like, I don't really know where to start. What do I do first? So the order I went in was car, house, job. Living life. If you've gotten this far in the video and you've been watching me out for this long, you're still awake and paying attention, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're thinking about doing a working holiday visa, or you've done a working holiday visa, comment down below where you're from and why you're thinking of doing it, where you're thinking of going. Let's get a community going here, and hit that follow button because I'm sure there'll be more updates.